Hello, hello, hello. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello. I like the way you say hello as if you've
I
just.
never know if I'm saying hello to you or I'm saying hello to the world. Hello, world. Hello,
Hello,
Victoria.
world.
Oh, the sun
So
shining.
today it's Rochelle and Victoria here, and some of you may not know this, but my podcast is called Healing the World Together. And even though this is part of the panel, I thought that we'd cross. Is it cross pollute? Um, cross
Pollinate?
pollinate. That's it, not pollute.
Is that what you're
Pollinate.
looking for? Yeah, we don't want to pollute the world. Let's pollinate the world.
7 days at a retreat, and that's what I come out with. Yeah. Um, so cross pollinate, cross pollinate some of this information. So and I thought it'd be a really good idea to bring Rochelle on and for her to talk about how she heals the world with LinkedIn. Now, why am I talking about healing the world? Because I believe, I'm a strong believer that when you are doing something that either you're good at or it's your purpose or anything that just serves the world, I believe that it's healing somebody somehow. And we really want to dig deep into that because I think when people think of LinkedIn, they just see it as a corporate engagement tool, full stop. So hello, Rochelle.
Hello. Yeah, I love that topic. I love the thought of healing the world through LinkedIn. And
Mm.
when you first said it, I was like, no, surely I'm not healing people. But then my brain started ticking, and I started to think about like, so I know that in both my businesses, my LinkedIn training business and in the property business, I help business owners to make more money. And
Mm.
a lot of the people who come to me, when the people come to me to build property portfolios, they've got the money there, they've just not got the time to do it themselves. But when people come to me with help with LinkedIn, often there's a certain like desperation there where they need clients, like they're not making any money from the business. They if they're not making money from the business, then they're not able to put food on the table, they're not able to pay the bills. Like they need to find a new way to bring in those clients.
Mm.
I think it is more important than just teaching someone how to use a social media. It's showing them how to use something in a way that's going to help give them a better quality life, help give their family a better quality life, because they're going to bring in more money. And the difference in like my clients when they first come to me and they're feeling really down because they've got this passion for something and they
Mm.
desperately want to make it work, but it's not working because nobody knows that they exist. So, and then when they go away and all of a sudden they've got this platform, people are starting to take notice of them, and they're able to deliver what it is that they offer, their purpose and passion in life, and actually make money from it. They come out of it in a much better position.
So let's go back to the beginning because um again, when people see someone like yourself talking about LinkedIn, they probably again just think, oh, it's just another person talking about LinkedIn, or it's just another person talking about you know wanting to sell something. But what made you want to get onto LinkedIn in the first place? How did it all start?
So I started using LinkedIn. Well, I must have got a LinkedIn account like what 20 years ago. I should probably know
Mm.
how long LinkedIn's been running, but I don't. But I feel like it was about 20 years ago when I started like set it up as a online job
Yeah.
site, and I'd done a couple of posts. And but that was about as far as it went. And it wasn't until I started my property business that I started
Mhm.
to use LinkedIn seriously. And one of the things, well, I needed to meet people who had money, and
Mm.
ideally to do that I wanted to go and network at events and go down to London and go to nice places to meet these people who might have money to invest in property in South Yorkshire. But I was a single mom to my two children who like I think they were about 3 and 5 maybe at the time. So that was a problem. And also then we went into lockdown and I was like, well, I can't go out now. That's been taken away from me. I couldn't do any property because I wasn't allowed to view properties or anything like that. So the one thing that I could do and the one thing that I knew how to do was social media. And one of the reasons I chose to focus on LinkedIn was because of I knew that everybody there, like at a networking event, everyone's there to do business. And you also get a much like the quality of the people that are on there, like they're taking the decision makers, they're taking things seriously. And I know that like there's a lot of people who are on LinkedIn and on Facebook, but there's a lot of people that hate social media but will still take some time to go on LinkedIn because they're looking for business connections and to network. And one of the things for me was because I've got my property business and I ideally wanted to connect with people who were in the south of England who didn't have the time to travel up north and build their property portfolio, but where property was not affordable in their area. So on LinkedIn, you can specifically connect with people based on the location and the job title and everything. So it just made it a no-brainer for me compared to Facebook, where I was having to guess where people with money were. I was making a much more educated guess with LinkedIn.
So how would you say, so were you using LinkedIn just to storytell, or were you using it because you thought to yourself you could get clients in and all of that?
Yeah, no, I knew I needed to get clients into my business, but one of the things that I noticed prior to having a property business, I used to work for a stadium where I did all the marketing for them. So I did everything from like the posters for events, all the social media. I set up the Facebook page, built that up from scratch. To I think it was at about 20,000 when I left, and we had the same events every single week, every single year. We had the same packages. There was there was never anything new. So it was like, how can I talk about Christmas from June until December every year and make it exciting and make it something that people want to engage in and make people want to like take action from the post and reach as many people as possible. So I had to start thinking like outside of the box. So I then used that in my LinkedIn. I was like, I'm not just going to talk about business. I'm not just going to talk about property. I'm not just going to try and sell. I'm going to let people get to see more. I wanted to show them who I was because I was brand new to property. And the only difference between me and somebody else who was brand new to property or even to someone experienced was me as a person. So it was like, how can I get them to know who I am, start to like me as a person and build that trust with them so that they're willing to invest their hard-earned money in somebody who's new to the industry.
So a lot of people find LinkedIn quite daunting, or they think to themselves, oh, it's not as friendly as Facebook. What would you say to that?
Yeah, so a lot of people say to me, oh, I just don't feel like I fit in. I don't feel like I'm posh enough. I've got tattoos and I've got like colours in my hair. And like, I can see why people like LinkedIn has always been a formal place where you might think that everyone's wearing a suit and tie and they're showing up all formal. But the people that are making traction on it are the people that are showing up and being themselves, showing who they are behind the business. Like people are much more likely to follow you if you've got a bit of a personality or a story to tell, and you're giving them interesting stuff and not just talking about work all the time. So it can be like in anything, like standing up on stage, speaking on a live for the first time. All these things are scary the first time you do them, but it's about stretching that muscle. So if you go onto LinkedIn and you find it daunting, Like it's about like just doing small little things outside your comfort zone and building up to it. But don't let like don't let other people get in the way of you having a business, or other people get in the way of you reaching your potential clients.
Okay, so you also talk about visibility as well, and not everybody would associate visibility with LinkedIn. What would visibility mean to you, and how has it helped you?
So for me, like if people don't know you exist, they can't do business with you. Like that's the biggest message that I think I've ever like I can give to people. Like if you're there being silent, you can be the best person at what you do, but if nobody knows about it, then
Mm.
what's the point? You're not going to make any money from that. So for me, the visibility with LinkedIn, like a lot of
Mm.
people don't see it as a visibility platform. They see it as like quite a small, you might have 100 connections, you only connect with people that you've met in real life, and it's just a little place where you can keep in contact with your business connections. And I completely changed, like I didn't change it personally for LinkedIn, but I was like, I'm not gonna play that game. I want lots of people to know who I am. I want to reach as many people as possible so that I can find like a needle in a haystack, this person with enough money to invest in property who's going to take this risk in me, brand new, starting out in property.
Mm.
And the way that I run my LinkedIn is that I know that if I can get a post in front of thousands of people, those people who like my post will come and have a look at my profile. They'll see who I help and how I help them. They'll see what I can do for them, and then they'll send me a connection request, or they'll follow me, or they might send me a message. And that's always my goal with my content, to get as many people to my profile so that they can see how I can help them as possible.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to get visible on LinkedIn than it is other platforms, because there's just not as much competition. Like there's so many people say to me, oh, LinkedIn's boring. And like I agree, it can be a very boring place, but this is why it's our opportunity to stand out. Like you don't need to be dull on LinkedIn. You can be somebody's scrolling through and, oh God, isn't LinkedIn boring? And then they see your post and they're like, oh, this is interesting, and they come along and they follow you. So like it's, whereas on Facebook and Instagram, there's a lot
Yeah.
of amazing content creators, and you're fighting and fighting to get seen over all these people that are spending thousands creating videos and getting a lot of traction and have got millions of followers. Like LinkedIn's not like that. LinkedIn's a much quieter place, so it's easier to stand out because there's not that noise there.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's still one of the untapped resources out there, that at some point is going to get even busier than what it's getting right now.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention to LinkedIn, you'll find that there's all sorts been posted on there. Some stuff that you don't agree with, some that you do agree with. Like everybody's got a different style, and I think it's a really good place to start. I mean, to be fair, I guess I got used to doing Facebook probably before LinkedIn. So I get it. I get how difficult it can be to switch over. But actually, it's like if you want to run a business.
Yeah.
And whilst Facebook and Instagram can still be used for business, I believe that the people that generate the money normally move towards LinkedIn Spaces.
Yeah. And I think even if you're not using LinkedIn as your main platform for business, people will often go and have a look at you on there to see if you, in a day when so many people are scam artists, so many people are taking advantage, so many people are doing fraudulent things, people want to check you out, and they want to say, okay, let me have a look and see if this person is a serious person. Like, how many connections have they got? Oh, they've only got 60 connections on LinkedIn. Like, is this person genuine? Like, I've seen them on TikTok, but I can't see them anywhere else. Or I see they've got a personal Facebook page which they post some business stuff to, but they haven't got any other social presence. Like, people want to be able to check you out and see from those different angles.
It's more of a visibility lens, not a credibility lens, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You want to see how credible you are. Like if you're on LinkedIn, more likely, I'm not saying for sure, but more likely, you know, if you're credible, you're more likely to use LinkedIn than not. It doesn't mean that there's not any fakes on there, but it does give you a bit more of a credibility license. Now, who is your challenge for?
So my challenge is for people who have always wanted to get started on LinkedIn. They can see the power of LinkedIn, but they just don't know where to start. So it's brilliant for those people because I'll be giving you like small tasks each day that'll help you to get visible on LinkedIn. It's brilliant for people who you might have been posting on LinkedIn. You might have been trying really hard and posting every day. This was one of my clients. She was posting on Facebook every day, posting on LinkedIn every day, and she was just getting tumbleweed. No one was liking or commenting on it. And she came to me and she did my training and she started signing up loads and loads of clients through it because she just needed a few little tweaks. She'd got the passion and the consistency there, but she wasn't quite hitting the mark. And so if you've been posting and you're just getting tumbleweed, then this will definitely help you. And if you just like need a fresh boost, like I've just been live in my Facebook group, and I was talking about how like September feels like the start of a new year for me. The kids are back at school, everything's nice and new and fresh, and it's a great time to, like, if you just need that motivation to get going again after the summer holidays. And also I think like September, if you hit the ground running, if let's start things off now, and then once it comes to January and a new year, you can really hit the ground running.
Amazing. So what makes you an expert at LinkedIn?
So like there's a lot of LinkedIn experts out there, and like I'm like, well, expert, it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable, doesn't it, that word? Like facial skin crawl. I think the difference between me and a lot of other people is that like I don't use my LinkedIn for LinkedIn training, and the reason is because I use my LinkedIn for my property business, and for my property business I'm signing up high ticket clients. And now one of the reasons I started doing LinkedIn was because I wanted to speak on stage, and I'm now going to be speaking on stage about property as well, so which is going to be amazing. But I wanted to speak on stage, and I was like, what am I good at? What are people always asking me about? And people are always asking me how I get clients through LinkedIn. And I started talking about that, and I realized that there was a massive need for it. Like I thought, because it's something that I'm good at, I thought, oh, like LinkedIn's easy, like people know how to use it, but they don't. It takes time, it takes knowledge, it takes like learning from the right people to build it up. So like I've got the experience because I'm actually running a business from it, so I can tell you the exact things I've done in my business using LinkedIn to get those clients.
I must say that I'm so in love with what I call your formula. I remember the first time I said formula, you're like, what? I was like, it's a formula, because you know, when we're trying to sort of like just navigate your business and stuff, like what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and everything else. And then it just became so clear. It's like, oh my God, you're using LinkedIn because you wanted to just do LinkedIn and stuff, like, you know, into LinkedIn, and then you're like,
oh, hard. So
you're like, oh,
panic, and I go, I don't want to do property anymore.
You're like, I don't want to do property anymore. I was like, and then I was like, okay, so if you were to focus on one thing, what would be? You were like LinkedIn. I was like, yeah, but LinkedIn's going to take you ages to build. And then the more we were looking at your business, it was just like, wow. So just in case, like we're accountability partners as well. But it was like, oh my God, all the sales are coming from LinkedIn. I was like, you've nailed it. And you're like, what? I was like, you've nailed it. You're doing what nobody else is doing. You're showing people how to use LinkedIn to sign high tickets, or to sell high tickets effortlessly. Like it's just happening because you're doing exactly what you're training us to do, which is go on every day, have real conversations. And even when you guide me about what to talk about, like when you talk, you say, "Oh, just be yourself." And the less scripted you become, the more people tap into it and stuff. And I go, oh my God, just had like 600 impressions, 1,200 impressions. It's nuts.
I think in this day and age where everyone is leaning on ChatGPT to do the writing, and often it's very obvious, like people are just shutting down. So if they come across a authentic person, like if they come across a post and it's like, oh, this is written from the heart, like they get it, they're gonna stop, they're gonna read, they're gonna engage with it. It's in some ways that makes it easier than ever. Like all you've got to do is just show up and be yourself, and people will think, oh, this is better, so much better than all this AI stuff that I'm reading.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So one of the things you never talk about, and I always seem to talk about, is the number of impressions you've got, the number of followers you've got, how many people signed up to your newsletter in less than 24 hours. Do you want to give us some of your stats?
Yeah, so when I first started, I had 250 connections on LinkedIn, and I grew it to 15,000 in the 1 year. I then took my foot off the gas a little bit, but I'm now at 23,500 connections on LinkedIn. And I get around, well, I think I'm at 1.3 million impressions for the year. So 1.3 million people or 1.3 million views on my content. Last week alone, what was it? I think I had 60,000 people viewing my content. So like, yeah, it's I do pretty well. My LinkedIn newsletter, when I launched that, 2,000 people signed up in the first 24 hours. 3,000 within the first week. So I've been doing that for about 3 months, I think now. So I'm about 3,500. So there's so much potential there on LinkedIn, and it's just tapping into it. It's just finding out those little tiny things. It's not rocket science. It's just knowing the formula to make it work for you.
Yeah, and again, huge amounts of credibility, like what you've done. Like I've been in rooms where you're not there, your name's been mentioned, and people go, "Oh my God, yeah, Rochelle, like we need to talk to her and stuff." Like you're doing it without any ego. It's just you. It's just tapping into you and just doing it. You're not shouting louder than the other person. It's so interesting because you're not using the tactics that a lot of people are using online to be heard or to be seen and stuff. You're literally just being who you are. Like who you are when you write the post is who you are offline. And to me, that you know me and stuff, to me that matters huge amounts.
And that's one of the things that I teach people. Like the last thing you want to, if you swear every second word and then online you pretend that you're an absolute angel and you never say anything bad, when people then meet you in real life, they go, oh, this doesn't feel like you that I met online. You show up as the real you. People get to know who you actually are, and then people want to work with you, they want to support you, they want to engage with you with your posts.
Yeah, but equally, if you don't swear offline and then you go in and you fill in the swearing to make you feel comfortable and to release the tension of the insecurity of being online, equally people don't align to you anyway and stuff. So
yeah, that's it. It works both ways. And swearing's just like, that's an easy example, but it's just like, just show up as the real you. Like I'm not here pretending that I've not got like a Yorkshire accent and sounding all funny. And
do you know what? Before we wrap up, though, one thing that you used to say, one of your biggest fears was about speaking, was that people wouldn't like your voice and stuff. That was one of your biggest fears, and now you travel around the country and eventually around the world speaking on massive stages. I know you're doing something major next year.
But and I'm speaking. I'll be by the end of this month. I'll be an international speaker because I'm speaking in Malta.
You are speaking in Malta. Yes, you are speaking in Malta. So so it's that whole thing of it's that whole thing of being yourself. It has nothing to do with how the way you look or what you sound like or anything else. It's just keeping within your space more than
Yeah.
anything else and stuff. And I say it's nothing to do with purpose here and stuff. It's more like if you're doing it, you're enjoying it, and you're healing the world with it. I mean, people are going to be able to transform the lives of their families. I know it's transformed yours.
Yeah.
Being able to go on holiday, being able, I mean, we were talking, I've just been on a retreat, and to be able to go on a retreat that your business has paid for and stuff, it's huge. It's massive, and be able to look back and go, I've changed that for myself and my family, and the knock-on effect, and also the fact that you're building a team and you've got people who rely on you now for their salaries and stuff. It's just it's not just about you anymore. And LinkedIn can do that for you. It can give you the dreams that you never thought were possible, but Rochelle is going to make them possible. What can they expect before we wrap up? What can they expect at the challenge?
Question: what can they expect? Like a little bit of comfort zone stretching. So I've run like a smaller version of this challenge before, and like some of the things will make you feel uncomfortable, but it's good to be uncomfortable. I expect that if you've been using LinkedIn and you're posting what I'm telling you to post, you'll reach a lot of new people. You'll get a lot more comments and engagement than what you've got previously. So like it's 4 days, but I want you to see results and the power of LinkedIn in that 4 days. I don't want it to just be like you're doing some nice little tasks. This is to actually start making a change, making a difference. But even if you've not set up your LinkedIn profile yet, still come. You can still listen, get that motivation, and get started.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me all these questions.
Yeah.
Victoria, you're very good at making people think and say things that you're like, oh, I didn't think to say that.
That's my job. That's my job. As much as being a speaker as well and stuff, I do like asking those questions. And also, do you know what? It's that whole thing where we all learn. Like when we have these conversations, it brings out thoughts for all of us. It's not just me. And and you just never know who's going to see this. I mean, we're streaming across all 4 platforms at the moment. So we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. So we're literally streaming everywhere and what have you. And if you would love to be part of this challenge, I can guarantee that you're going to have an amazing time. I've attended Rochelle's masterclasses, and the knowledge she has is sensational. I mean, a lot of people, when they come to it, they're like, oh my God. Like, I've seen the comments that people have said. I remember taking loads of comments, like snapshots, and sending them to Rochelle that people were saying, because they were just coming in just thick and fast. And this isn't all glitzy or anything. It's literally, it does what it says on the tin. It's going to get you the visibility that you want. You're going to be able to start building a business on there. And here's the thing and stuff, just watching Rochelle as well and seeing what she's doing is just incredible. It's inspirational more than anything else. And she's going to show you how to do it.
No, thank you.
You're welcome. We'll speak to you soon. We'll see you for the panel. We'll see you next Wednesday. Speak to you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.